Coach, to have the organization, believe in your vision and what you've accomplished with this group, enough to offer that type of extension for you to accept it, what does it say about all you've been able to accomplish together?
Well, first, it's just I'm grateful to the DeVos family, to Jeff Weltman, Alex Martins, for them being able to believe in what we have done together, what this group continues to do, our players, our staff, and how much they understand what a great group it is to be a part of. We said it's going to be special from the beginning, and that's what this group is. And for them to continue to have the belief in what we're doing says a lot.
Obviously, you're focused on this season, what's in front of you, but you talk so much about continuity. Is that an extension of that?
I do believe so. And going back to what Dan says is just the belief in a group, of keeping a group together, and it's not just always players. It's a staff that you can trust in, that you can believe in, that is caring for these guys, making sure that they're reaching their level of success on and off the court, and that's what that does. It helps them understand and believe that there's stability and continuity, and there's something special about that as well.
From the day you took the job to now, how have you grown as a head coach, do you feel?
Well, have you seen my media from day one to now? That might be a little different. It's just the growth of being with these guys. I think that's the biggest thing that I've been taking away. The growth of how we communicate with one another, how the staff communicates with one another. The games are, coming fast and furious, but the ability to communicate with the guys and what they see real time has been just as big for me as it has been for them.
I mean, when you took over this team, obviously it had been a while.
Yeah.
And you've gotten it back. What does that mean to you to see your vision and had on its way to coming to fruition?
Our vision has always been that. The vision that, Jeff Weltman and I have talked about, that Alex has talked about, the DeVos family, we've talked about it. And then that vision goes to the players and what their belief system is, and our staff, what they believe in, we're capable of doing. And the reality is, you're not done. And I think that's what we continue to tell them, and that what they continue to understand, that you're not done. These are still building blocks to the foundation of what we want to last a long time. And we've said it from day one, we're not rushing to mediocre. You want to do great things with this team. This fan base deserves it. It's earned it. It's behind us all the way, and it's something special. And I'll say that over and over again, that this community has, that this organization has, that each one of these guys has, that we continue to believe in. So for them just to continue to put trust in this staff and these players means the world to each one of these guys.
What were Jalen and Markel able to do in practice today? How are they?
They were able to go through a full practice today.
Do you have an idea of their availability for tomorrow?
No, we'll continue to see how they respond to how today went, for sure.
What was when it was announced to the team? What was the team's reaction to the news of the extension?
The reaction that you've seen come from these guys time and time again when we celebrate each other. I think that's the beauty of this group. It just they continue to celebrate one another. Because that's the family atmosphere that we've created, the chemistry, the culture that we've created. It's about believing in each other. It's about rooting for the guy next to you. And you pray it's not any different than when it comes to our coaches and how we want to continue to celebrate the success of one another. But it goes to show the belief that they have in each other, that they have in the coaching staff, and how hard our staff has worked to put these guys in a great position.
Play Parkland tomorrow. You played them well a couple weeks ago. So they're obviously going to come in with a different game plan. How do you adjust?
We'll have to see, as the game presents itself. Obviously we did some very good things in that last game. They'll make the adjustments. They'll have guys back on the roster that we didn't see the last time. So it's going to be adjusting to some of their players. But I will always go back to, are we holding ourselves to our standard of play? And if we do that, we give ourselves a chance every single night.
This is your first time as a head coach with this team. How reassuring? I know you probably thought you could do this job for a long time, but how reassuring is it that you've been able to get extended with this team and that you've shown that you can be a great head coach?
I always go back to, it's about the guys that are surrounding you. And I think it's about the staff, it's about the organization, it's about the belief system that they have with the vision of what we're capable of doing. And just enough to bring everyone back, the bright staff back, the players back. I think it says so much. And it's more a reflection of that than it is just about one individual. I mean, we're not doing this by ourselves, and no coach is, and I definitely am not. And it's about what we've done together, and we'll continue to do together, and continue to build and grow, and keep pouring into each other and serving one another.
Jamal, you're extremely humble. You're somebody who reflects a lot, but you have a lot to do with what has happened. I mean, from day one, what was in your mind? How to build a culture? How to build the togetherness of this team that they so clearly have? What did you think? How did you get it together?
Serve. It's the only word I can think of. Serve. Serve those around you. Serve those beside you. Serve those around you, and then that means more in the long run. Because at the end of the day, my job and our job as coaches is to pour into everyone around us. And when you have that coming from the top down, from the DeVos to the Alex Martins to Jeff Weltman, it's easy to do when you can serve others and pour into other people. That's what this thing is about. That's why we coaches coach. You can say it's about the wins and losses. Yes, it's that, but it's more about how can we pour into other people and make these guys and these young men achieve everything that they've ever wanted to achieve in the NBA.
Had the chance to review tape for the last 2 games and get practice in. What kind of slowed down about the offense, or what was the offense really struggling with that you guys can correct?
You know, we worked on it today. Our ability to just make quicker decisions, getting off the ball fast, getting it around the horn, moving with pace, and teams are doing a great job of being physical with us, and we're figuring continued ways to combat that. Teams are switching more, making it harder for us to get in the paint, but it's been our strength all year that we're able to do that. So just getting back to those basic fundamentals, the angles of our screens, the way in which we cut, how we get our setups to get open, all of those little things. Then defensively, can we continue to show our hands, show our length, use our level of communication, defensive rebound, all those little things that we set are our standard, continue to do those things.
Knowing the level of those two teams, did you feel like they presented almost like a playoff blueprint to how teams are going to try and knock you guys off kilter a little bit, or what did you see from maybe what the defenses were doing to throw you guys off?
Well, that's what we said earlier. In the New York game one was that physicality, that level of play, and what we saw in game planning was great for us to recognize now early. So now that's going to give other teams what they think they can do to us. But us being more of who we are gives ourselves the opportunity every single night. Indiana turned up the pace more, they turned up the pressure more. But again, I always say, and we always say, it goes back to what are we doing. And if we're doing these things the right way with a level of pace, intensity, physicality, toughness, we give ourselves a chance every single night.
When you look at the back-to-back losses, I know the result isn't ideal, but when you look at the long term, putting things in perspective, how necessary for this young group are situations like that, the ability to respond to that adversity for what they want to do?
We're continuing to learn. We're continuing to grow. And I think you've never arrived. And I think with this young group especially, us learning what that means to be in these situations, what that means to be in tight games, what that means to be in a physical game, what that means to be with a team that switches more or they blitz the pick and roll. Being able to see all of these scenarios goes such a long way because you're able to watch it on film, and the film doesn't lie. And then you look at some of the numbers, those won't lie to you in those scenarios. So I think our ability to recognize those, approach them, reflect on them, learn from them, apply them to practice is what gives us a great opportunity to move forward.
What have you seen from him over your time with him, and how happy were you to see that for him?
Coach Mo's been, a live wire since the first day I met him. Just an ultimate player's coach, and he's just been a huge help. Since I first got here, I remember my first summer league practice. He was in there working out with me. I remember thinking like, this guy crazy, but that's just what he does. That's who he is, and I'm happy for him, man. He deserves it. He works hard.
What does that mean to you for your coach to get extended, be here long term? Obviously, you have a couple of years left on your rookie deal, but to know that there's a solidity in place, I guess.
He deserves it. Simple as that. He works, just as hard as us. To be our coach and to put his best foot forward for us and for the team. So, like I said, he deserves it.
How has he helped you kind of from really last year, your transition from college to college? How has he helped you grow as a basketball player professionally?
I would say just in every area, He's been my coach since I first got into the NBA. So in every area that I've improved, he's helped me. Whether it's my defense, my mentality as a player, as a leader, he's helped me in all aspects. So I really can't say enough.
He often says that you guys as a team play for each other. To what degree do you play for him too?
I think we play for him as well as for sure. You know, we love Mose. You know, everybody on his team appreciates him. Like I said, for what he does, how much he pours into us, and so you know, everybody's glad that he's able to be here and that he got extended.
Oh, my bad, dog. I just wanted to show you your
Oh, this the new joint.
Yeah.
They got me in the concourse too.
That's what I'm saying. It's clean. You got a fresh twist.
Yeah, this better than the other one I seen in myself.
Better than mine.
Appreciate you, brother.
You guys got a chance to look at, get a chance to get practice, look at some tape. What kind of slowed down the offense the last 2 games after the game?
I think just lack of ball movement. You know, getting into our actions pretty. You know, not with the pace that we would like, and just our communication wasn't really there. Just as a group, you know, watching the film, you know, we didn't look like we were connected.
You talked about lack of ball movement. You haven't had Markel and Jalen in the last 2 games. It's probably a big part of why you've done that. So when those guys are out, how much do you take responsibility to be the one to move that ball, be that point forward in the offense?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always, no matter who's out there, I'm always, you know, trying to get my teammates involved, trying to move the ball. I think it's more just, like I said, our pace and getting into the actions. It's not really nobody's, you know, hijacking or anything. It's more just we're moving too slow. We're not playing with enough pace.
Knowing that the playoffs are coming up, and those are 2 teams that are in the playoff race, did you feel the different intensity in those games? And how do you make sure you guys adjust to kind of the way defenses might be trying to speed you up or slow down that pace?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. That's something that I think I said in the film room was just that, we're beating everyone we're supposed to beat, but, you know, these teams that are in the same range as us in the standings, you know, they're going to play, you know, with a chip on their shoulder, you know, especially New York and Indiana. You know, we beat them pretty good earlier in the year, so, you know, seeing them later in the year, they were going to be ready. So, you know, we just got to be prepared, and, you know, we got whatever it is, 17 games left. We just got to, you know, lock in, you know, try and ramp up the intensity for this postseason, and just come together as a group.
Paolo, some people might call the back-to-back losses like wake-up call style games. Do you feel like they were wake-up calls?
I wouldn't say it's a wake-up call. I mean, I think we're 8-3 since the break, so that's pretty good. You know, I just think it's 2 games that we dropped, and we can learn from and get better.